Passion, drive, and patience. The formula of winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything for you to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED lights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has it covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices that you want. It's easy to make your car the MVP it needs to be and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Again, ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
What it do? Welcome to Solo, Seth. I normally just like to do these when I'm inspired, but I miscalculated and there was a gap in programming on the podcast network. So I decided that I would get on here and cut one for you guys that are interested in hearing me. I did plan out, there were a few things that I wanted to talk about. And then as I was kind of writing all my ideas down, I decided that I would do a podcast progress report. So I'll go over all the podcasts that we have on the network, and I'll give them a grade. I'll let you guys know what new shows are coming, some ideas that I have, and a couple of other things going on in the podcast world. But I wanted to let you guys know that I was going to break that down in a little bit. I was reading this story yesterday in the YMCA parking lot, and it had me actually laughing out loud. And I don't laugh very much out loud. I'm broken, outside of the show. But this was a story about the Los Angeles Chargers. Part of their team got stuck in a hotel elevator for 2 hours. So it looks like 11 or 12 guys got stuck. When was it? Was it really like Friday night? So here's what happened. And this is and Jim Harbaugh, who was the coach of the Michigan Wolverines and was the coach of the 49ers before, he's the coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. This is his first year back. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a very, very interesting guy. Just a lot. I don't know if he intends to be funny or if it just comes out that way. I think it just comes out that way, but I want to read you guys the article from Pro Football Talk, and some of these Jim Harbaugh quotes are incredible. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert was among the 11 or 12 players stuck on a broken elevator at the team hotel in Dallas on Friday night. Coach Harbaugh said the players and some of the other members of his traveling party, including Hall of Famer Dan Fouts' wife Jerry, were on the elevator without air conditioning for 2 hours. Dallas Fire Rescue removed those on the elevator one by one through the ceiling panel to an adjacent elevator. All right, so to me it sounds like, I don't know, where's Dan Fouts? Why is Dan Fouts' wife just with the players? Okay, that's what I want to know. When's that video coming out on Brazzers? The other thing is that wait till you get into the details, knowing that and I looked up, try to find out how old Jerry Fouts was. Dan Fouts is 73. So I'd imagine I'm going to put Jerry at least 60. I'm going to put her at least there. Up, getting a text from my brother. It's probably about asking me how his fantasy football teams are doing. So this is what Jim Harbaugh said. We dodged a bullet. I usually think of dodging a bullet as dodging an injury in football. You got to get good at that. You got to get good at making yourself harder to break. Okay, so I think I guess he's attributing this to, dodging a bullet has made these guys stronger. He goes, that's a shared experience that brought them closer together. I just missed it being on that elevator. It was like, wish I could have been there with those guys, but Justin Herbert was. Jim Harbaugh is saying this isn't just like not the 9/11 where it's just like, I just narrowly missed being at work. He's like, I just narrowly missed being stuck with my guys. And that's the thing about Jim Harbaugh is he wants to be stuck with his guys on his elevator. That's the kind of psychopath he is. Harbaugh said every person who came off the elevator was sweating except for Justin Herbert, and some of the players had removed their shirts. Justin Herbert, quote, his hair was a little wet, but his shirt was completely dry, Harbaugh said. That was another thing that blew me away. The guy is just a beast. So he is calling his quarterback a beast because his hair was only wet and the rest of his body was not. Herbert took charge in the elevator, which was stuck in a blind shaft between the third and 15th floors of the Westin in Dallas. Here's some more. The remarkable thing that came out of it was, to a guy, young rookie players, Justin Herbert's a leader. He was a rock, kept everybody calm. Jerry Fouts told me the same thing. She pulled me aside after they got out and told me how great Justin was and how everybody kept their poise. So let's see. Is there anything else here? Dallas Fire Department, blah, blah, blah. Could have been a lot worse. So just Jim Harbaugh just talking about the situation with the guys getting stuck in the elevator and him talking about how much the guys did or did not sweat. I just think he's a fascinating guy. Maybe you guys are like, what the hell's wrong with you? Are you high? That story's not interesting at all. I don't know. I know Jim Harbaugh, he's a quirky guy, so you just never see quotes like that. Like I couldn't see Nick Saban going, man, I really wish I was stuck with my guys on there. I just can't see, Dabo Sweeney. Well, maybe Dabo, but you know what I'm saying? Some of these, I could never see Bobby Bowden back and they going, I wish I was stuck on the elevator with those guys. They're glad that they weren't. Think that's fascinating about Jim Harbaugh. All right. What was the next thing I got? All this stuff's on my phone. I hate when I write things on my phone and I don't actually write things down. I have been going to the YMCA frequently. There's one in St. Pete that just got built. It's off 62nd. It's the most awesome YMCA ever. It's got like a couple pools. It's got this awesome splash pad. It's got awesome basketball court, the workout facility. It's like 2 floors. They have a thing where you can work out outside. It ain't your grandpappy's YMCA. It's not, the Bob Sierra YMCA that I was going to when I was 13 over in Northdale in Tampa. Like this, the YMCA is like it's up there. So it ended up happening was my wife ended up getting us a membership through an Instagram that she runs, and I wanted to make sure that I promoted that. If you guys go to St. Pete Mamas on Instagram, it's St. Pete Mamas. That is Phoebe's Instagram page that she kind of organically started, and now she's been able to get, I don't know, the word isn't, it's not per se influencer, but more of like a partner where, she'll do postings about them and then they'll, pay her, give her things and all that. So basically she just started that just as a hobby and it ended up turning into something pretty cool where she's connected with a lot of other moms from St. Pete. So I know all the dudes listening are probably going to go. They're looking for something to whack off to. It is somewhat family friendly, but if you want to throw it a follow, St. Pete Mamas, she got us hooked up with the YMCA, and I've been playing basketball with my daughter, and she really really likes it. The hoop was down at like 6 feet, and I found a little ball for her, and I've become obsessed with women's basketball because of Caitlin Clark, and just because of a lot. I know a lot of you guys don't like it, but whatever the fuck, who cares? I like Caitlin Clark. I like women's basketball where it's going right now. I think it'd be cool if my daughter played. So she seems to like it. She ended up signing up. I guess it starts in November that she's going to start playing basketball. But I went with her on Saturday and we were going to go play. And it ended up being there was a league going on and there were some kids, probably 8 or 9. She's 7. So she's like, can we watch the kids play? And I was like, yeah, let's watch the kids play just to make sure it was something that she would be into. And she was really, really into it. But I got to tell you, it was halftime, 8-minute quarters, halftime. It was 16-0. One of the teams couldn't even put up points at all, man. And I'll tell you what, even being 8 or 9, you can see who's a damn good kid and who sucks out there. And the white team, and that's what they were called, their jersey colors. This is not racial. The white team, they need to get a player from somewhere because having 0 points at halftime, I don't even know how to fucking feel about that. Okay. So we left at halftime. We had enough of that. Then we went out to the splash pad. But I'm just stoked that, she does gymnastics and she dropped out of dance and now she's doing this. So she's going to do gymnastics and basketball. And I just love it. I played basketball back in the day. I don't know if it's because Jewish guys, I feel like Jewish guys play basketball. Played basketball at the JCC, and we'd have like my parents would send me to the basketball camps where they'd have former Orlando or current Orlando Magic guys would come over. Anthony Bowie, Dennis Scott. I remember going to camp, with those guys. So I was like really, really into it. I never got past anything except my 7th grade intramural team, but still, I'm excited that she's going to be in it. I'm going to try to make her great with all the knowledge that I have, which is really just from watching current basketball. We're going to try to get her to be able to throw up that three from 3 feet behind the arc. But I'm stoked about that, and I wanted to tell you guys about the YMCA and just following my wife in general. I do know most of the stuff I say on the show and on the podcast is my wife hates me, and I do stand by that. But I am proud of her for getting that up and going, and finally she was able to get a partner that benefits me. I know a lot of you guys have your fantasy drafts going on. I think I have a fantasy draft tonight, and I have a fantasy draft next week. People hate when you talk about your fantasy team and they're not into fantasy. I was just at the dispensary talking about a guy. I was like, "Hey, you doing in fantasy football?" I'm like JD Vance making small talk. I'm like, "So you got doing any fantasy football?" He's like, "Oh no, I hate it, but my guy, my friends will talk to me about it and shit." So if you guys have any questions, just tweet me at Seth Cush, and I'll answer them either on Twitter or on a podcast or something like that, because I don't do any mock drafts. I don't do a lot of reading. I don't do a lot of paying attention. I just go based off of what I know, which is I follow mostly all the NFL news in the preseason. So I feel like I can go into a draft and nail it. So that's my strategy tonight. Um, and also, I do have to say this. I'm in a fantasy league with Dennis Phillips, and for people that are local, he is on he's on ABC. He's the weatherman, like the big time weatherman. Like when it's a hurricane, when it's going down, like Dennis Phillips is the man. The ladies 60 and up love him. He's got the suspenders, like the dude. He is awesome, and I was able to get into his league a few years ago, and I wanted the league 2 years in a row. Last year, I played him in the finals, and he ended up beating me. So I'm back in it, and hopefully, he'll let my $100 payment. He'll let me do that in installments. Because come on now, who's making enough money to pay for their fantasy football teams? All right, he's gonna have to take the 20 installments of $5 that I'm gonna send his way. Let's see. I don't want to get into that. All right, let me get into let me do the podcast report card. I've made you guys wait long enough for that, even if you guys care about that. All right, I'm kind of looking to tweak the podcasting lineup. I have a couple of ideas that I want to talk to Bubba about when he gets back, and maybe we change just the way that the podcasts are released, or maybe we put a show on hiatus and put another show in. But I wanted to kind of run down and give a grade to some of the podcasts that are currently on the air. The ladies of the BRN, I'm going to give an A to. Podcast is very, very hard to put together as far as getting everybody into one place at one time. Hopefully it's something we can do once a month. I mean, Erica did it when her mom was, I think, like 2 days from passing away, and there's a dedication to it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's somewhat hard for me trying to figure out, what exactly lanes we want to go down, because I don't want to make it like a Bubba after show with women. But I think that I like where it's going. I like their dedication, and how could I give the ladies anything less than an A? A new show that we debuted a couple days ago. If you guys have not heard it, for anybody that's a fan, Babyface and I did a show. We're going to name it the Blizzard because we're a bunch of snowflakes. So it's going to be the Blizzard with Babyface and Seth. We have our first episode up there. I can't necessarily tell you what it's going to be about because we covered sports, we covered Beyonce, we covered how much we give our daughters for the Tooth Fairy. There's a whole bunch of things in there, but I know that Brian is not on the air, a bunch of days a week, and I have a good rapport with him. So that's something that we're going to be doing. That should be a regular weekly thing. Babyface told me he's got the time, so Babyface has it locked in. Clement Kush. Oh, by the way, the Blizzard with Babyface gets an A because we only did one episode and it was good. And oh my God, the next, him and I went to a card show, a sports trading card show. I know we're big time losers. At the Holiday Inn, off West Shore and Cypress, and I got it. I'm just gonna save it for the next time him and I do the Blizzard. But watching Babyface like go through cards and then try to sell his cards and then ended up not selling him to the guy, and I'm standing right there. The whole thing was a little awkward, and I think Babyface got a call while we were at the card show that like his mom needed to go to the hospital, and he's like, "All right," I'll be out of here in a minute, and I was like, "All right, man, you got to go," and he's like, "No, I'm fine." He ended up staying like another 45 minutes, so I don't even know what the hell is going on with that, but very casual about his mom going to the hospital. Clement Kush, I'm giving a C plus to. And I think that Bubba and I are kind of just, doing it just to do it. And we're probably just resting on, our chemistry. But I don't want it to be just an after show of just things we didn't get to at all. Like we used to plan it out. We used to have, guests, or there was real, like we knew what we were going to do on the show. And I feel like we've kind of gotten away from that, whether it's because have to record Operation Pigmentation, 15 minutes after that ends or what. But I want to talk to Bubba about either getting that back to where it was, or putting it on hiatus. And Bubba is going to start. I know you guys like to make fun of the podcast table. Bubba's going to start using that, and he's going to start interviewing people from it. So maybe Bubba will be able to start that show, and maybe we replace Clement Kush with the Blizzard or something else. Okay, guys, I'm not trying to throw myself all over this network, but there are things that Bubba wants to do. So I wouldn't want to have Bubba go do, all right, we're going to do Clement Kush, then you're going to do this other podcast series. So, and I know getting that podcast table and all that is important to Bubba to get up and running. So we'll see. I'm going to talk to him and see what he thinks, because then we've got Pigmentation goes on YouTube now. So the podcasting and what it means is getting kind of blurry, which is totally fine. But I think that I could do a better job of getting Bubba, good topics, good things, good guests to talk about. And I think that we could do much, much better. Let's see. Operation Pigmentation. I can't grade. I can't grade that. I'm too close to it. A-. Stoner and Loner I'm really, really proud of those guys, Colton and Tuttle. I literally had people, I don't know if they texted me or Facebook or wherever the hell people get a hold of me. And they were, after their first show, they go, what is this? Please get this off the network immediately. I said, man, I listened to their show. I said, this is just their first show. That I know Tuttle was nervous because Tuttle wants us so badly, so he doesn't want to F up. And it was a whole thing. And I'm like, you got to give guys reps. You can't just go, hey, here's one rep, you guys are done. Much like in football or whatever line of work or whatever analogy you can use, like you have to let somebody do something a few times before you can make a decision about whether it's going to work or not. And I'm not even talking about numbers. I'm just talking about if something sounds good. And those guys put it together really fast. I mean, whether it's their 5th, 6th episode, like they are put a lot of effort into it. They want it. And I know that that'll be an A the next time we talk. And I look forward to updating you on those guys. Tigs Bits. Love those guys. I'm actually proud of those guys. I don't think I've been able to give them the attention that maybe I had planned on at first, as far as, talking to them about, what they're doing, what's working, what we can do more for them at the BRN. But they've been cool. Like, the guys are incredibly low maintenance. They're cool as shit. I missed JR the handler when he was in town. I was supposed to meet up with him, and I don't know. I think I was going through a thing where I didn't want to just see anybody. So I think I missed him. I need to get with him. But Tiggs and Blossy and JR, like they're all great dudes, and I appreciate them. And I think they're a perfect show for what we're doing here. Like, I would love to find more of those guys. So if you haven't checked out Tiggs Bits, it's the big purple logo show. Just 3 dudes. Like I said, I think one's from, like, what is it, Pensacola? Somebody's from New Orleans. Somebody's in Georgia. I don't know. It's just some good old boys. I know that makes it sound, a little like, oh, a little racist, but it's really not. I enjoy listening to them, and I think that you should check them out if you haven't. I need to get those guys on, a podcast or something with Bubba to give them a little bit more promotion, but they've been awesome to work with so far, and I look forward to doing more with them. What else do we have here?
I love a great deal just as much as the next guy, but I'm not going to crawl through a bed of hot coals or go out of my way just to save a few bucks. And if I am, man, it's got to be easy. No hoops, no BS. So when Mint Mobile says it's easy to get wireless for $15 a month with the purchase of a 3-month plan, I'm going to call them out on it. Turns out, it's really that easy. It's that easy to get wireless for $15 a month. The longest part of the process was the time I spent on hold waiting to break up with my old provider. That's a nightmare. Wish everything was as easy as Mint. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk-to-text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your old phone number with you, along with all of your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer with your 3-month premium wireless plan for only $15 a month, you must go go to mintmobile.com/Bubba. That's mintmobile.com/BUBBA. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Bubba. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower on 40 gigabytes on unlimited plans. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites, like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies, like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee for your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Oh, solo Seth. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I'm gonna give it a C. I could do better. I could probably do worse, but I want to just give you something from my perspective. And here it is, uninterrupted, unfiltered. Solo Seth. Gary Cantrell and I. If you guys don't know Gary, he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. He does a lot of video editing, and great dude. I met him at BARP last year, and he just was a fan of the show, and he told me that he was just honored to be able to take pictures at BARP. He was just honored to, be able to work for free is essentially what he was telling me. And he had done some stuff for us, and Rhett's just got so much shit going on. So Gary started kind of doing daily clips, cutting them up for the show, and he's done an awesome job, and he's helped grow the Instagram. So we started off doing a wrestling show. Then we kind of changed it. It was just like Gary and Seth. And then I called him yesterday. I go, hey, man, why don't we just set up the Gary Cantrell show? You can have your own show. I'll help you get it off the ground. And, you can just kind of take it, because I don't want to be on every show. I don't need to be on every show. People are well capable of doing stuff without me. So I kind of want to just give everybody the freedom to do that. So, hopefully Gary has something coming soon. Tuttle is working on something with his ex-wife, which I'm very excited about. Brian and I, Babyface and I are going to do the Blizzard. There's a new show that I'm testing out. It just went up like Saturday. It's called the Ford Show. Actually a friend of Gary's. He's out of LA. His whole show sounds like a radio station, just big radio station fan, but it's produced. He's got an interview there, it goes back and forth with a couple of buddies. So, check it out. Of course, some people love it, but it's, a lot of people, some of the Bubba Army, they love anything that we do. I wish they would, sometimes I wish they'd be honest and be like, this sucks. Some people love it. Some people said, "Is this a complete mistake that this was uploaded?" So things can go either way. But I've got that up there. I'm just trying to work out. I just want to find new talent. I want to find new talent that is just that inspires me. That I love being around up and coming people or driven people. Those are my favorite people to be around, and I'm kind of looking for that for the next podcast. And I'm not saying anything. This is not anything about any of the guys that are currently on the podcast right now, but because a lot of the stuff outside of the couple of shows, a lot of the stuff is all people at the BRN. I mean, I do a one-off with Tara. There's a bunch of one-off podcasts that we do. But I'm looking to add one or two. I love working with the kid that I worked with, JP, over at the Lightning for a few years. Him and I did a few shows together, and he was God, kid's 20, he was 22, 23. I was probably 38 when we started working together. So I used to tell everybody that I was his dad. But I mean, the kid was doing Twitch. He was doing a full-time job at the Lightning. He was doing YouTube. I mean, he was all over the place. And I was like, damn, this dude is young, and he wants it. And he's building his own house right now. He's 23 years old. So, that's just, maybe it's selfish, but that's what I want. If you give me a little bit of talent and drive, I think we can turn it into something. So I'm excited about where things are going. I know that you guys tell me hey, do this podcast with this person, do that podcast with that person. I talked about it on the show with Babyface. A lot of people are busy, and I respect everybody's time. If they're going to do kind of a free podcast, or they're going to give me, 30 minutes or an hour of their time. So I like to make sure that it's worthwhile. And I feel like Dan and Jay come in a lot. I'd be weird to be like, hey, will you guys do a podcast? I'm sure that they would, but I think they should just do a podcast together. So I think that goes through all of the podcasting. Oh, I need to know about this, guys. Oh, and by the way, talking about cards, people ask me this during the show all the time, but I'm sometimes I don't like to type in chat, just like to talk. So a lot of people ask what my eBay is, where I just sell my cards, and it's Nice Pull Kush. Nice Pull, Kush. And then if you want to go, see it, it's like $2 or $3. I don't have anything crazy expensive up there, but I know a lot of people ask for that. So there that is. Oh, look, and then okay. I need to know if this is illegal. I want to read you guys a letter. I want to read you guys. It's not really a letter. It is a suicide note, and it was incredibly moving to me. If you're like, oh yeah, you were moved by the Justin Herbert shit. This is from an Israeli teen who, or maybe a little bit older in his 20s, who was at the music festival, when Hamas came in with the fucking, hang glide, paraglide, whatever, just killing and raping everybody. I know a lot of people don't believe it happened, like the Holocaust, but for the ones that believe it, he was there. And anyways, I'm gonna get into that. So if you have to fast forward through it, that's fine. It was one of the most just the range of emotions from reading that and knowing that this is the world we live in is just it makes you question a lot of things. All right, now back to, I want to tell you one more thing. So I was going to get a smoothie yesterday, and there was this, I was like about ready to go down a road, a park, and there was this car that was driving on the wrong side of the road. Like I was going to pull in, drive on the right side of the road, and they were on the right side of the road. So like I go to turn in, and then the car's just there. So I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what are we doing here? So the guy just kind of sits there, and then I sit there for a second. I go, okay, standoff, no problem. I'll back up. I'll drive the wrong way around him, no problem. I'm cool. So then I start to back up, and then the guy starts to back up, and then he puts his car like diagonal, like at an angle, like pretty much where he's like covering up both rows. And then him and I lock. We're both wearing sunglasses, and we lock, and he's just deadpan, just staring at me. And I'm looking at him, I'm mouthing, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Not like, I'm gonna get out of the car way. I'm like, but just like, dude, come on, what are you doing? I'm hungry and you're just dicking around. So then he finally started to like move his car, and he ended up like backing into the spot. But when I made eye contact with him, I go, this guy just doesn't care. I go, this whatever it was, this guy enjoyed that I got a little hostility in me because he was driving on the wrong side of the road. Then I was trying to go around him. Then he was fucking backing his car in, and that caused the whole thing. And then his wife next to him, she just had her face in her phone, acting like she couldn't feel the tension. So I felt like the guy got one over on me, and that can't happen. I gotta get even. I can't have that shit gnawing at me all day where I let the guy in the Audi fucking shove it up my ass because I tried to go around him and I just couldn't do it. And I'm just trying to get my little nutty grain smoothie. So I looked around. I looked around after I got the smoothie because he parked. I was like, all right, I got to do something to this guy's car. I'm just letting you guys inside my mind. This is, I'm going, all right, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna throw fucking pennies at as I drive by. And then I was like, well, what the hell is that gonna do? What is that gonna do? Okay. I'm thinking, I go, okay, next thing. All right, next thing. I go, all right, I'm gonna leave a note on the guy's car with like a really ominous 2 words. And I'm like, all right, what am I gonna say? What would I say that would just freak somebody out? And I'm like, never forget. And then I was like, oh Jesus. I was like, that's 9/11. I'm like, I can't put that on there. And there was all these things that I was like, all right, I'm not gonna put a note on the car. I was like, I don't, I'm not gonna key the car. I don't key cars or anything like that. And I was like, what can I do? Like, what can I do? So I was like, I got it. This is where I don't know if this is a crime or not. If it is, let's pull this down immediately. I I spit my smoothie on the guy's car. And you know, just being honest with you, haven't really told anybody, but I keep it nonviolent, guys. We'll keep it nonviolent. There's no road rage. No one's getting shot or anything like that. But I'm just out here trying to live my life in peace. And this man, he tried to get me. And that deadpan look, it set me off and made me crazy. So I spit my smoothie on the back of his car. And I got in my car and I drove off and I said, I feel great about this. So I do know that there are people that will think less of me. That is something that I will sit down and explain to my daughter that I did. I'll tell her why I did that. We'll let my wife decide if I was in the right or wrong. But I wanted to share that with you guys. I love you guys, most of you, and you're important to me. And if I'm doing somewhat illegal, as you know, because when you spit on somebody, it's like assault or battery, right? Isn't one of those? So I didn't know if I'm assaulting or battering a car, or if it's cool. And if I could have just been like, I coughed on it. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? Um, Maybe you're saying, hey, who gives a fuck that you spit on his car? I hope that's what you're saying. Not proud of myself. I'm okay with what I did, but I'm not okay with telling you guys, but that's just how it goes. All right. And I did want to tell that before I get into this. This is pretty deep. You guys can bail if you want to bail. I'm not trying to make a pro-Israel statement. I'm sure as a Jewish person, you guys know where I stand. I'd like to see the hostages um, given back, and that would lead to a ceasefire. And everything after that, it's a little bit tricky as far as Hamas being in or out of power. What happens. When everybody goes back to Gaza. I know all that shit. So, yeah, I don't want anybody else to die, but I wanted to read this to you guys because this just wrecked me last night. So, a young Israeli man who survived the Nova massacre, that was the music festival I told you guys about, committed suicide. His family made the letter he left behind public. It was in Hebrew, so it got translated to English. So I think it came out yesterday. This is how it starts. It seems okay. You guys will catch on. Hey, you, please forgive me. It all started on Thursday. We were dancing and having fun. And come Friday, so much fun all around, seeing friends we haven't seen in years. We all met to dance and celebrate life. Come Saturday morning, the sun begins to rise. It's so beautiful as it starts to shine over everyone. We're dancing, we're happy, hugging, and some of my friends start to leave. Suddenly, rockets start flying over us. I know this. This is my life. I'm from the South. But then there are paragliders. I hope nothing happens to them. Then starts the gunfire. What is going on? We see the truck coming, paratroopers dressed in foreign uniforms. They are killing everybody. They just killed Che. They just killed Addie. They're kidnapping that girl who was sitting there hugging her murdered boyfriend. Suddenly, you run to the bushes where I sit and hide, not uttering a sound from my lips. You're in the bush next to me, so close. The cries gush out from within you. A terrorist is right above the bush I'm hiding in, and I pray he won't see me. I pray so hard, something I haven't done my entire life. God can hear my prayer, but you won't stop crying out loud because with every second, someone gets shot and murdered. They saw you. They're dragging you out of the bushes. There's four, and you're one. You scream for help. One of them punches you to silence you, and you try to fight them while looking towards my direction for me to save you. But if I step out, we'll both get murdered. I want to live. I sit there silently. They start undressing you. I'm crying. I feel like I need to scream, but a hand silences me. Maybe it's the hand of God, or I don't know who. They turn you on your stomach and they start raping you one by one. They turn you around again and they yell at you in English as they want you to see for yourself how they have defeated you. You crawl in my direction and pray for something to happen, for someone to kill them so you can get out alive. But as you crawl towards me and they're on top of you, the shot comes. They murdered you, but they murdered your body. But before they murdered your body, they murdered your soul. I sat there in the bushes for hours. I did not come out. I saw a bottle of water next to you, and I was so incredibly thirsty, but I couldn't bear the thought that I should have saved you. So how can I be so disrespectful to drink any of your water? I have reached rock bottom. I can't live anymore. Your look follows me every single day, in the shower, in my sleep, in my room. I couldn't go back to work. I wasn't able to. I've been to your house. I didn't tell your parents what you've been through, but they know that your body was abused. I was a witness. I asked for forgiveness. I'm coming to you, to the next great world. I promise to save you there and protect you. Please forgive me. And don't worry, I left a note for my family telling them how much I love them and thanking them for the life they gave me. My sister's having a baby. I thought about sticking around to get to know my nephew, but I don't think he should know the uncle that couldn't save you. It's okay. I'll watch him from above. So that's it sounds like he wrote that to the girl. It looks like the family got probably other notes, but it looked like he wrote that to the girl who I'm assuming was his friend. Man, shit. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sure that wasn't for everybody, but that's just when you think about everything that's going on over there, and it's completely fucked up for the hostages. It's fucked up for the innocent people that, have been killed. You don't think about somebody survive. I don't think about somebody surviving that's got to live with, something like that every single day. You're just like, they survive, they're fine. And I am probably 100% sure, outside of some of the sexual abuse, that's what a lot of servicemen, military see in battle. And I get that's why, when they come home, they need to be taken care of and all that shit, because I don't know. I don't know if we're supposed to see this stuff. I don't know if we're supposed to see this stuff in life, like people get killed in horrible ways in front of us. I'm not trying to, well, it's already dark, but I just don't know. I don't think we're programmed to see it, because I think it completely messes us up. And I think that's fine. I don't think it's something that we should be able to easily digest. And if there are people that can easily digest that, then maybe they're the killers that were sent here on Earth for hopefully a good reason. So, thanks if you guys are still with me. I wanted to let you guys know about the content house that we have November 15th and 16th. I'm really, really, really excited about it. We're gonna have a meetup somewhere in like Kissimmee on Saturday night, the 16th. Friday night, we'll be at the house. We'll be live streaming the whole time. The whole time. It's the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight that Friday night. So we're gonna pretty much just be watching the fight. You guys know how it is, where we can't put the fight on YouTube or anything like that, but you'll be able to see us watching the fight. I did hear this. You'll only hear this, if you only hear this on Solo Seth, but I did hear. If you guys are familiar with Tom and Dan from Mediocre Time, some of the biggest podcasters going, man, they got in real early. They're friends with Tuttle, and I think they're going to stop by the content house either Friday night or Saturday. So, we've got some cool things that will stop by, or people are going to stop by. Tuttle set up yoga. We're going to do yoga Saturday morning. I asked Bubba to buy this huge Velcro. It's like this massive inflatable Velcro dartboard for like outside, except you kick soccer balls at it. And they're like, so I said, Bubba, we need one of these. We need some cool shit to play with. So we're not just, sitting around, dicking around, hoping people will watch us. So I'm really excited. We're putting well, I'm not going to say we're putting a lot of effort into it, but we want to make sure that it's compelling, and we want to make sure that everybody has a good time, mostly us. So I had a couple of sports things that I wanted to hit real quick. Steelers, man, good luck this year. My daughter loves the Steelers now because that's where my in-laws are from. I'm down with the Steelers because of Justin Fields. I don't think Russell Wilson's the guy. I don't think the offense has the explosive pieces that it needs to function with a Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson's broken because I think Sean Payton is an offensive guru. Even if you hate him, Bountygate, I get it, but I still think that the guy is a great fucking coach, a great offensive mind, and I think that I think last year's show that might be toast. Russell could have a great year, but I think the Steelers need Justin Fields. So, and then the other thing is that the White Sox baseball, I know we got the Rays called up Junior Caminero. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. He has 2 home runs already. Kids playing out of his mind. Oh, Gary Cantrell texted me. I bet he wants to do a podcast. Well, I told him we were going to do one. But the White Sox, there's 162 games of baseball. The White Sox right now are 31 and 100. So that's 31 wins and 100 losses. And what is there? 30 games left, 31 games left. So that the White Sox are the second quickest team to lose 100 games in over 100 years. So when there's historically bad things happening, especially with a team that I've rooted for my whole life, I want to let you guys know about it, bring it into my world. I did text my dad. Let me pull this up yesterday because I was sending it around. Where is it? Hold on. I texted my dad yesterday with the White Sox and the saying 31 and 100. I go, I wanted to thank you for making me a White Sox fan. I'm glad you're alive to see the futility you've exposed me to my whole life. A historically bad team is the icing on this shitty Winn-Dixie cake. Now my daughter will go down the same dark path I did. And my brother wrote back, we are losers. And my dad goes, could have been a Cubs fan. And I said, you made the choice for us, and I don't even like baseball enough to find another team to root for now. Carlton Fisk is an asshole. So my dad stopped texting me after that. But yeah, my dad's 77, but I'm gonna heckle him. I don't. You got me involved with the White Sox. I had one good year, one great player with Frank Thomas, and now I got teams that are historically bad. And my daughter has to grow up in this world. The good thing is I believe in Caleb Williams. I believe in the Chicago Bears, and I believe that my daughter is going to see about 10 years of the best Chicago football that we've had since back when they were played even before leather helmets, back when they would just go out there with a fucking hat on. So I'm excited that my daughter will get to see that. But baseball, nothing good going on with that situation. I know that it was weird that I read the letter, but guys, it was touching. It was something that I tweeted. It just hit me. I know that's not for everybody, but I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast and hope you enjoyed the update on everything that's going on. Again, we've got there's a podcast up with me and Brian. There's a podcast up called The Ford Show. I'm giving those guys a shot. And don't forget about Tig's Bits, Loner and Stoner, Operation Pigmentation. We were on video this week. Thanks for all the love on that. And I will see you guys at work on Tuesday. Let me end the show now.